Hello guys, I'm continuing to work on my Telegram bot and trading bot, and I would like to share this bot with you. What we need to do, we need to find this Telegram bot, AI price pattern bot, and I share this idea here, how to trade for close buy or open sell, for example. And let's look on these results. How to interact. Okay, for example, let's start with this bot. Okay, the main command for us is help. Let's look at this help command. What is interesting for us? For example, open interest. This is this is coin. What interest from the large player when open interest is growing from current moment. Let's look in, for example, again, for example, help forecast Bitcoin for short term and long term, yeah. And you could understand what happens and what is direction from a point. I mean, let's look in again, help. This is my bot. It's a trading bot, and you could use this one. For example, let's look in the get last trade. Okay, this is the last trade. This is some returns, and get current position. What is the get current position? Signal 1, it means buy. If -1, it would be sell, and this is some total returns. Okay, let's look on the total returns on database. You see, I take aggregate some function about returns, and let's look on this one. This is returns for the last 5 days, and count trades for 1 day. In general, we have about 20 trades per day. This is high frequency trading. And what else? This is some profit for per day and some average returns. Okay, and let's look in another what we have on this Telegram bot. For example, for me, very interesting is a social. I used AI to analyze several thousand tweets to generalization on some text. You could use this one. This is text generalized by artificial intelligence to find some ideas what they discuss. I mean, in the Twitter, for example, XRP, Bitcoin. Okay, and if you would like to get more talk from Twitter, you could use this one. Let's look in another command line. For example, price. Okay, what is price? For example, price BTC USDT. This is current price would be, or let's look in on Ethereum. Okay, this is some wrong maybe. Okay, because I forgot price. And okay, let's look in another command line. News. This is some last news. This is main news, and you could read about this one and some description if you would like to understand what is the hottest news on the current moment. Let's look in, for example, again on the help command line. Okay, I did some aggregate data from database. It takes some time to develop it. For example, I use RIDS to aggregate data for whole transaction. Let's look at the whole count. This is count beating large wallet. If this transaction more than $1 million, for example, this is 57 transaction more than $1 million for one transaction, and we could find some activities and get some interesting information from this one when large player is activated, for example, like at this time. This is some average transaction per hours, for example, volume, where is the biggest volume or small volume. You could analyze this information. Okay, and let's look at this is time. I mean time GMT, Greenwich time. Okay, let's look in what else. Sentiment, of course. I realize sentiment. Analyze thousands of tweeters to understand what happens on the current moment. I store this data into RDS, and next I aggregate the data, this data for 1 hour. So too many tweets, maybe no, maybe several thousand tweets for 1 hour, and I calculate some point when we have positive sentiment or negative sentiment. But in general, you should understand this data in dynamics to compare this data on the previous hours. For example, these hours we have very positive tweets, or here let's look at tweets with negative sentiment. We should look in, for example, on this data. This data is low because this hour like began. For example, average sentiment. You also could analyze this data to understand what is average sentiment for one tweet. Okay, sometimes you could get some useful information from this one to understand what is main trend on the market, because it's very important to understand what is main trend. Okay, let's look at the help again. What is Bitcoin? Okay, also aggregate some data about open interest for Bitcoin, and you see, or for example, long rate. It means also aggregate this data. You could find coefficient with big long rate, and you could to understand what is sentiment of traders when they trade futures on Bitcoin USDT. Okay, for example, they're going to buy, short rate is decrease, but in general you see short rate is more than long rate. It means we have some downtrend. And let's look in again, help forecast. Okay, and you also have some downtrend on this one. But if you would like to trade only like quantitative trader, or if you would like to trade like intraday trader, you could use low correlation bot to understand what is the current position. For example, get last trade. For example, okay, get current position. I mean, this is time when position was open, like here. This is time also GMT time by Greenwich time, and you see we have some open position and we have a sign of buy. Okay. Also, this is bot what I developed. This is bot I used only statistical data. This is some not machine learning. I'm going to implement some machine learning ideas here to manage this some position, because we need to find some stability results. Because if you used machine learning, in general, we have some stochastic process, and this data could results could be not stable. But if you use some statistical ideas, results will be more stable. And I'm going to tune in this bot maybe 1 time per week to to understand what is parameters I should tuning, what coefficient I should decrease or increase. It depends of situation of volatility of the market. This is another topic and we could discuss this. Also, I'm going to create Discord server, and I could add you here and we could discuss about something topic or quantitative trading strategy. Also, if you have some ideas what we could add some interesting information here, I could do it, and we could develop this Telegram bot together to improve our trading experience. Okay guys, if you like this video, subscribe on my YouTube channel and enjoy to using this one. See you next time. Bye.